Righto, now I'm going to do a little bit different this particular work on this door. So just something I've been playing with. So it's a little bit different to all the rest. But anyway, we'll just mark out. The first step is always pretty much the same because I want those colours underneath, you know. And I want them to be quite bright because I feel like it would be a bright door. Now, you don't really have to be very particular about this because you are going to cover it with other things and also paint acrylic on the top of it. So in my head, this is where we're going anyway. So I would just be choosing what you want to be, like in the color scheme that you want the underlay to be. Not that you could use inks with this. You can use watercolor like I have. You can use anything you've got. Doesn't have to be expensive watercolor. It can just be any watercolor. You can use pencils if you want, if that's all you've got. Doesn't matter. So kind of have this basis of a blue door, which is, and I'm thinking that in the middle I'd kind of like the blue still, but I just need it to be a little bit different color, not by much, but just a little bit different. This is really good play, you know, where it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to keep within the lines. You can just relax. Try and just not spend too much time on it too. I find that when you spend a lot of time on things, that's when you start to tweak it, and then it all gets a little bit predictable. So I like definitely non-predictable things, as you might know. Kind of go with the flow. Might take that blue down the side and like that. Now, God, it looks like the TARDIS, doesn't it? Oh, that's funny. All right, so around the edge, I'm thinking this kind of, yeah, okay, color, which my watercolor palette has not been used for quite a while. And I forgot to spray them. I normally spray the paints so that they moisten up, and I haven't done that this morning. So it'll take me just a second to get that bit of color going, but it doesn't have to be much color. It just needs to be a wash. Get rid of that white. You might like the white. Don't get me wrong. You don't have to do this. You might like the white, but I just like getting rid of it. And then just make that little bit down there a little bit darker, like so. All right, okay, so this is the first stage of this complete. That's actually the start of my Turkish door. I'll be back with when that's dry. Okay, so I'm back. While I've been gone, I've been just going through some of my folders, as you know, the blue one in particular, and also a goldy one. And in here I found the pieces which I've just ripped up really roughly. So we're doing this really rough thing. Not you know, I ripped these up. So these are actually going to go on here. Just this gorgeous piece. And these aren't translucent. These are actually opaque, you know, piece of paper. In fact, it's actually an old piece of paper, butcher's paper, I think. I don't think it was anything terribly exciting that I did that jelly print on. And I found this jelly print that is kind of gold and striped. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually, because it's translucent, I'm going to put it on the door section, on this door section here. Now, it's not going to fit perfectly, and that's fine, because as you know, this is freeing you up. This is making you do things that are, you know, free, easy. So just taking the edge off that, which is kind of a waste of this beautiful paper, but anyway. I'm finding those books really, really useful. I've been doing a new series during COVID, a larger series than the last ones that I was working on, and which I will show you some of one day soon. And they're just, it makes life so much easier. Well, for me anyway, when I'm working as a you know, doing a collage of some description, it just makes it so much easier to find things. A bit more water down there. Alright, hopefully that will just pull apart where the water is, a light rough edge, which is all fine. That's going to go down to there. Now, because this is beautiful translucent, sensational. Because this is translucent, you're going to get that. You're going to get that beautiful blue happening under the base of it. So I'm just going to whack some glue on here. Now this is methyl cellulose I'm using, but that's only because I would use my glue stick, but my glue sticks are inside, and my UE is it's actually dried up. I left the top off it accidentally, so I'm just bought this out, which is to use instead. So we're going to place that down. I'm just going to get a card. Push that down. Make sure that there's no air bubbles. Don't know why I had two cards. Alright, now that will dry up. Now I'm going to just pop these on. I think these are the ones I'm going to use. Might not be dark enough, might not be. Mind you, Oh, sorry. Gotta get this piece of paper from under here. Okay, so they might not be dark enough. I might have to wait for that to dry to see whether that blue is going to come through a little bit more. They might need to be stronger with some milk. I'm going to try and find, while I'm waiting for that to dry up, I'm going to try and find some really cute, I'm thinking it's going to be that. This piece of jelly print around the side. So I might rip that up and sort that out while we're waiting for that to actually dry up. Maybe. So it's only this little bit here. I might get a ruler and just do that, and I shall be back. So I have decided that I actually am going to put these ones that I cut out on here, but I won't do that right now because it's still a little bit damp, as I said, and it needs to settle. But what I decided to do, I was kind of looking around and thinking, okay, so what about the sides? And I got, you know, numerous pieces out, thinking Turkish, you know, this is extremely Turkish, but I thought I might use some of that maybe up the top here. It's very beautiful colors and so forth, but it has that white. See how it's still got that white in the background, and you know how I don't like that. So I might have to do a wash over that before I use it at the top. That was one of the pieces that I found that I thought I might use. And then I thought I really wanted to make the outside. I see a Turkish house, you know, an old Turkish house is very brightly colored. It's and the walls are, in my head, red. Today they're red. So what I thought was, I'm going to make these walls, this gorgeous jelly print, red. So I am going to do all of that around there red, and I have also one of my scripted jelly prints, and I'm not sure if I'm going to utilize that or not in the wall area or at the top, but these are the ones I'm playing with. So at this point I'm going to just let I'll put some music on, and I'm just going to let the video run. Hopefully it won't disappear like it did last time, and I had a really hard time. And I'll just stop talking now and just get on with and you can watch or not watch. Please subscribe if you haven't seen me before, and join our Facebook page, Judy Armstrong Studio Groups page. And yes, all right, I'll be quiet now. Okay, so it's dried overnight actually, and so you might have previously seen this piece of jelly print, but it had a white background to it. I really like the textural, the gold and the pattern on this. So I've decided that what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in this suggestion up here. So how I'm going to do that is, I haven't done it on this bit of the outside bit. I'm not too sure where that is going. So what I'm going to do here is actually put that in the middle of that top arch. And then what I've done is I've actually just sketched roughly on there that other arch. So I'm cutting this out. This is actually, you know, lovely paper. So unfortunately I'm not going to see through any of that blue unless I cut out the actual arch. Now this is the arch that I've cut. Now it's not quite the same. Now I could alter it. I could move it up even to cover that, and you know, so it's a bit of a play now. I feel like I would also like to maybe make some pieces at the side, just to have some pieces to play with. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut these. And you know, because I do acrylic paint and Inktense work over the top of this and other pieces, bits and pieces. So this is just the next layer of work. My work is always so layered. And yes, people, you might be saying, but you're covering up all of the colour that I put underneath in the first place. But the colour underneath comes through in some parts. Like, it will always show through more than the white. Oh, I've just been chopping wood. I have actually wood chips all over me. So yeah, the colour, see, on through this will show through. There will be pieces that it will show through, even though I'm, you know, putting opaque pieces through the doorway. And I really like, actually, that sort of layout that I've got happening there, with that. I don't know whether that needs to be maybe even as long. Maybe it needs to be a little bit wider. As we know, we just play. I have a very large pot of, you know, from all of my collage and mixed media works. I have a huge pot of bits and pieces that all of the pieces I don't use pop into, so I don't ever worry about things like that. I will eventually use them somewhere. Okay, so actually I think I like that. I like the fact that it's a little bit wider. I'm not even going to be precise with it because, as I've said before, we are going to paint over and add different layers. And am I going to continue? So you have to remember these pieces that I put at the front, at the top. Now you could, you know, for instance, you could, you know, cut out a piece and so it showed through those, you know, the colours underneath. Not that that's exact by any means, but you could do that. You could quite simply do that by doing this. Let's just do an example, I think. So I've got this piece that's going to go at the top, but it's out of whack. I am going to glue this down eventually, as long as I'm happy with it. Okay, so I've got these pieces at the top that are going to see through. Now, what do they want? What do you want them to see through, though? Are they glass? Are they, you know, they're clearly not the wall pieces. You know, are they something spectacular like that piece of? I mean, that's awesome. That was from something I made. So, how about we work on that? Great colors matching. Do we want the yellow? Yeah, the yellow side of that beautiful piece is sensational. So what I would do, it's very simple. I would mark out which ones I actually wanted, which pieces I wanted. And I would just glue them in place on the back. Like so. Maybe this might have, Okay. So now you're making a sort of a statement piece of stained glass at the top of this door. This is where it's going for me. I'm just going to go with the flow. So that piece probably will go there, and that piece will probably go there. So I'll just do that. The same. And this one. Make sure that you're putting it the way that you want it. Alright, now we've got some stained glass. Do they have stained glass? I have no idea. But anyway, that's where we've gone today. That's where we've gone, hey. Alright, now that, I feel like that might need to be a little bit shorter. Maybe there. And now we have this stunning piece that goes right at the top. So now we're going to, just got the Inktense blocks out because I haven't used those in a while. And I think I'm just going to get a couple of, now you know I'm freehand, but I have drawn sort of the central point coming down from there. I could run that down there too, quite simply. I'm just marking out this with the Inktense, these etched pieces of the doorway. Oops, too far. Fortunately, you can give it a bit of a rub and get that back. Until you add water, and then it's set, as we know. If you don't have these, obviously, if you don't have Inktense, you can use pastels or anything, you know, that you like. I just like the intense. Probably going to run one right on the edge of that piece of paper with a bit of the same colour. Alright. Alright, now I'm just going to set these with water. And as you know, ink, as I said, ink sets with the ink tint sets with water, added water. A little wider brush up here. I'm just gonna Oh, I love it. It's looking so fabulous. Okay. Well, that's a good start, isn't it? Now, we're just going to get some acrylic paint now. And we're going to mute down some of this work. So put those away and I will get my acrylic paints out. And we're going to mute down. Actually, I might just, before I do mute down, sorry, I might just, there's these little dots of like, I want to put here on the door. Sorry, I nearly forgot. I'll just wet those down. Alright, now I'll let that dry and I'm just going to organise my acrylic paints. I'll be back.